Well, my dumb ass was like, I'm not getting the ball passed to me, so I'm going to play defense. And then I got crossed up by Caleb, the 10-year-old kid from Stranger Things.
No way.
And so everybody was like, oh, because I'm biting. I'm trying to get a pick. I'm playing the passing lane.
You open yourself to being clowned, right? Subscribe to the podcast, KFC Radio on YouTube.
Bang. Dude, as always, got to say, the hair is just fucking...
The hair is something. Are we recording? Let's just dive right in.
We're rolling.
Hassan's hair looks... Your hair looks like... Your hair looks fake, bro. It looks like it's like a
toupee.
Yeah. No, I mean in a good way. Like it's like if you were to draw a cartoon and it was like he's gonna be the jock, like the
Johnny
popular,
Bravo.
like it is. It's
He's
a
an
hairline.
He's a hair.
Dude, it's something,
Bro,
man.
By the way, I'm so lucky. Like for guys my age, I'm 37. So like guys my age, it's like, yo.
What are you on? Are you all natural?
All natural. All nat, bro.
Yeah. Bro,
There's no PDs.
I took a picture. I was probably 29.
Yeah.
My grandfather looked just like me, and he died with like a full head of hair. So my whole life, my parents, everybody in my family was always like, "You're gonna have hair till the day you die." And I also was new to the internet.
Yeah.
It was when I first started Barstool, so I wasn't constantly critiqued by the world for every fucking,
man.
So I never thought about anything to do with hair loss, right? And then I took one picture. I was like 29. Put it on Barstool, and everyone was like, "Yo, that hairline is like running away, like, just flaming me." And and it was like all of a sudden, like the Matrix. I was like, I saw myself, and I was like, "Oh my god, it is!"
Yeah.
And then I was on Propecia and the gummies and the creams and the lotions.
It's working though, right?
I didn't know you got on Propecia.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Wait, you didn't know even now I was on it? I've been on it for
You're on Propecia now?
forever, dude.
Get out of town.
Dude, are we starting with diagnoses right now?
They were like, but
are we violating HIPAA? Is that how we're starting right now?
They're like, there's some side effects. I was like, I don't give a shit about my dick. I want hair, bro.
So don't you have a lot of friends now? We're at that age where like a lot of our friends are like doctors or pharmacists. Where like, yo, I went to high school with you.
Yeah, you guys are fucking dumb, dude.
I don't have doctors. I have lawyers and financial advisors.
I got a lot of lawyers. Oh, I got a ton of financial guys, and I'm like,
I know, I have been drunk with you. I've been like, you are not a bad person.
Yeah,
but you're a bad person to get financial advice from.
Yeah, bro, you're in remedial math. What are you telling me?
Like now, I have one in particular. Like everyone's gonna know I'm talking about, but like it was like I don't even think you took math. I don't think you were like. I never thought of you as a math guy, and like now you're sending me emails like asking me my financial advisor.
I got 2 friends in the FBI, which is weird. Like,
oh shit, can they be trusted?
One, yes, no, actually they both can.
Oh no,
yeah, okay. they're actually the 2 most. As I think about it, they're the 2 most like. If you had to pick 2 guys from my crew who would end up in the FBI somehow, it's them. But at the same time,
allowed to say, or is that CIA? You're kind of
no. These guys are like out and about, like they, but they
like
came out.
T-shirts that say female body inspector.
But they got guns and shit. And I think one of them has done like raids before. Like I was like, we used to be. Like in the Hamptons getting shit-faced or at the Jersey Shore being morons. And it was like a career change for both of them. I was like, you guys are crazy.
They've changed?
Yeah,
like legit?
They one was an accountant.
You were an accountant in the FBI?
Yeah. It was funny because
Jack Ryan?
I was we kind of did it at the same time. I was an accountant before I did all this.
Wow.
And he was an accountant. So he went and did FBI and I went and did smut.
Did anybody from your high school end up playing in like the league? Did anybody from that you went to high school or college with go pro?
I went to a really, really small high school. No, we didn't have.
We had one dude, Darren Sirocco, got drafted to the Twins, I think, in like the 30th round.
Yeah.
And I mean, he was the man. He was hitting bank job. I mean, he was like a stud in baseball. I think he played like in the minors a little bit. I don't know where he ended up, but he was like, I mean, I still know his name to this day. Like I can tell you the first and last name of all the guys like who were fucking nasty. And I went to like a shitty high school too.
A buddy of mine went to Dominguez, so he played with Tyson Chandler.
Really?
Yeah, he was a writer at the Daily Show, Trayvon Free. Really funny guy. But I was like, how much better was Tyson Chandler than everybody? He's like, it's not even funny.
Yeah. I played against one kid. So I played hockey. And I played against one kid who ended up playing for the Capitals, and it was fucking insane.
Really?
Dude, I swear to God, I had another kid, Shea Guthrie, up at George's, who he was fucking sick too. I don't think he ever made the league. He was probably like in the EJ or something like that.
Yeah.
And at one point, he like just like dangled me, like just embarrassed me.
Yeah.
And then just turned around to do it again. Like, he could have gone and just scored. And he's like,
he didn't even shoot it? Oh, wow.
He just turned around and was like, I'm just going to fucking do that again.
That's mean,
he did like
dude.
House of Highlights hockey edition.
Yeah.
That happened to me in basketball. I played against Mount Vernon is where Ben Gordon went to high school, right? And so we played in a summer league. We were it was like there's like Mount Vernon and New Rochelle, a couple teams from the Bronx, and then we were in like this little fucking suburb in the middle.
Yeah.
Awful team full of like tiny white boys.
Yeah.
And we played Mount Vernon. I think legitimately the score was like 87-9. Like they couldn't get the ball across half court. And Ben at this point was like going on to UConn. So he wasn't even really playing, but he would check in for like literally the first play of the game.
Yeah.
And then be like, I'm out here, you know? And
that's wild. I wouldn't want to do that.
This is Ben Gordon, who was point guard for the Bulls and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. But it was like he was going to UConn. He wasn't who he was yet.
And did you guys all know? Did you guys all know? Like,
we all knew. Yeah. And
I remember there was this kid, DeMarcus Nelson. He went to Duke. And he declared as a sophomore, and he dropped 64 on Davis High. It was just crazy. It was just crazy to watch. I was like, what is happening?
Like with the picture you show in the special. Like
yeah.
The picture, like that's who's playing.
Yeah. It's like you got
just
no
a buck
shot.
35. I'm trying to flex. There's just no separation between shoulder and arm. It's just
straight down. Well, I also lived outside of Philly for a little bit, and my brother. I'm trying to think of the years, but they played against Kobe in Lower Merion.
Wow.
And so a kid, I think my brother was like a freshman.
Yeah.
And one of his friends was a freshman who was playing varsity. So he was like pretty good.
Yeah.
But guarded Kobe as like, and he was good enough that he was playing varsity and they told him like, you're guarding Kobe tonight. So he's like, fucking, you're a freshman in high school? How old are you? Like 15?
Yeah, 15.
15 years old and you got to go play Kobe? Like,
yeah.
And, I mean, he obviously
does he recall it? Does he talk
yeah,
about
oh yeah, I'm sure. I mean, to this,
I
don't
never talked
to him,
about.
but yeah, we tell the story that like, we didn't play him, we didn't know, but I was like, I act like,
have you guys had the comedian Rick Glassman on this podcast?
No.
Rick Glassman grew up in Ohio, and he famously talks about how he
plays ball a lot, right?
He plays ball all the time. So you've probably seen his videos.
Yes.
Yeah. And when
because there's that video recently where he's taking really fucking seriously, right?
And I yelling at. I'm saying this on the record. He does take it too seriously. We've been multiple times been like, Rick, stop.
Yeah. Right, it's too much.
Yeah, and then he came out and he was like, hey, like I take it a little bit too seriously and I apologize. But he did play against LeBron in high school.
Wow.
And he has photographic evidence, of like him, LeBron's at the free throw line.
Because it's funny, like, you know, those games are, obviously you get dominated, but like you catch him one time or you like pick his pocket or whatever happens or you score on him and it's like, that happened. That fucking happened.
You just get a story to tell, even if he just dusts you. Like, I get to tell him, like, I played Kobe.
Right. It doesn't matter what happened.
Yeah, there was a moment of pride I had where I was in the celebrity basketball tournament. I did the NBA celebrity. I wouldn't go that far, but I do launch.
Yeah.
When I play, if it's Weekend Warrior basketball, I'm like, it's anybody's game.
Yeah.
Like I'm letting it fly. And I remember the first time I played, like Master P had his son on, and he was trying to control the bench, and I'm like, hey bro, I'm not playing for a record deal. Like, I'm here playing for pride. Like I'm going in. Like Romeo can sit too. Little Romeo can wait just like me. Like it's anybody's game at that point, you know. But like him, Quavo, they took
Quavo.
Quavo
can bomb from like half court, right?
Yeah.
That's the other thing too. Is if I'm in one of those games, like I ain't passing, man. If I touch the ball, it's fucking. It's
don't pass and don't play D.
Yeah. Because I'm not hustling. I'm not diving on the floor for loose balls. I'm not taking charges, bro. We're chucking from half court.
I'm saving my energy for a run. You think I'm gonna like work on my defense back check?
Not happening.
Well, my dumbass was like, I'm not getting the ball passed to me, so I'm gonna play defense. And then I got crossed up by Caleb, the 10-year-old kid from Stranger Things.
No way.
And so everybody was like, oh, because I'm biting. I'm trying to get a pick. I'm playing the passing lane.
You can't. You open yourself to being clowned, right? If you don't play defense, you can't get crossed
Then
up.
I chased him down, and then I grabbed the ball from because he's small. He was like 5'6", right? This is season 1.
Right.
He's an adult now,
right?
You know. So he was maybe people like you. They started booing me. They're like you're gonna steal the ball from a 10-year-old. I'm like, technically he's 13. Like, hey, he's in middle school, and sometimes that's high school. You know, so this is all fair game. So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Right.
I get crossed. now I got crossed up
Yep,
by
yep,
middle schooler.
yep.
If I don't take the ball back, if I take the ball back now, I'm a bully.
Yeah,
So I was like, man, fuck
dude,
you guys.
that's a great story, man. Bro, that is a great story, and we were just talking about the special. The special has like I'd say 5 like of the best stories I've ever fucking heard.
Bro,
that all you segue into them so well. But like, you know, if I put it this way, if someone was doing a special where they're telling personal anecdotes and like getting crossed up by Caleb from Stranger Things doesn't make cut. You've got some fucking stories, dude.
Yeah, man.
I was watching, cause I watch it as, I mean, I obviously love jokes, but like when I see a special that's like stories, that's kind of like what podcasting is. Like you can't really write jokes, so you just tell stories.
Yeah.
And
That's
like,
nice.
I'm like, fuck, that's like, those are 5 stories that I would fucking kill.
I don't even
to have.
I think that's like a borderline like a one-man show, like a
kind
play.
of like kind of.
That's so like when you are honing that, are you did that act as your like all around the country and shit?
I'll take it out if I'm here in New York. I'll take it out to the clubs. I'll do it like 15 minutes at a time.
Okay,
I'll be like,
that
all
makes
right.
sense. Like
so there was this guy that works at a hedge fund who's kind of picking on my girl one day, and then I decided to just go mask off.
Yeah.
So it'll start there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
About like,
yeah.
so it'll start like I'll be working on like, how petty are you? Like I'll be doing crowd work.
Right.
I'm like, I'm petty.
Here's how petty.
Yeah,
like,
here's how petty I am.
Did you like sit down and think like what are like the 5 best?
It'll start.
Did you have a list of things that didn't make the cut?
Dude, it'll be like 2 hours of material.
Yeah.
There'll be a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of stories that just don't even make it.
You should release that. Do you have that?
I should.
That would be
I do.
unbelievable.
Yeah, I do.
Like the King's Jester, like cutting room floor.
Yeah.
I'll get
or
like
just
10%, bro.
Yeah. Just commission.
Just tag me on it, bro.
Yeah.
I will say this. First of all, love special, everything like that.
Thank you.
When it starts,
I
was like, fuck. Did Kanye design this set?
Yo,
It had some
wow.
big, like, I was like, did Kanye design this set like a year ago and then
All
went
of
off
them,
the
man.
rails?
Yeah.
It's like, it's got like the Oregon vibe.
Yeah. Oh, well,
it's a great set, which is a
thanks,
compliment
bro.
to a great designer.
I mean, not to nerd out to all the stage design heads at Barstool, you know, but it was the great, you know, we took the great James Terrell. Terrell was the one who was like the big inspiration behind like Hotline Bling, Yeezus, Dua Lipa.
So not far off, bro.
Not far off. Bro, you're actually, you're right. And then
How
like,
did something like that happen? Does that like Netflix hook that up, or you know him?
no, like for me,
Or he reached out to you,
I mean,
or-
James Terrell is like one of the all-time. That's like knowing Van Gogh. He's
Right,
like, you can't
right.
get him. But for me, bro, I'm just a nerd about it. Like there'll be stuff that even outside of comedy, I'm just like, I love this thing. You ever have those things where you're just like, I'm really into watches. Like this has nothing to do with comedy, but I'm like, I'll go really deep on this. And I just always loved movies and cinema and just visual storytelling. When I was a kid, my parents, we didn't have cable at home, but they just let me have like Slam magazine. So I remember just having Slam and Dime magazine as a kid and just loving like the visual,
How it's laid out. And all
yeah,
that shit.
man, like those 90s
covers and stuff.
those 90s Nike ads with like Barkley, Real Penny Hardaway, Chris Webber.
Remember the one where they were doing the high dive?
Yeah,
I love that.
So like I grew up with all those print like ads. I just always loved visual storytelling. So for me, I was like, oh man, if I want this to feel like a movie, like it's on Netflix, I want it to feel super cinematic.
It almost feels like you're selling it short if you said like it's a comedy. I feel like comedy special is kind of getting a little,
but you know what,
getting a little
like,
loose with it. But like,
if you've
more
ever
than
hung out with like Segura, if you've hung out with even Burt Kreischer, like
a lot of production value.
Kreischer blew up off a story, that Russian mafia story.
Yeah.
He was like,
storytelling to me is like there's 2 art forms to it, and I think when you're an amazing joke writer and teller, you're so witty and clever, and the misdirection, the punchlines, all that shit.
Yeah.
But I think when you've got, because like nobody can do that. Nobody can do your act.
I mean, no. Nobody could do maybe my
That's what I'm
version
saying,
of it,
though.
but
Like,
like,
so people can do-
but Chappelle is actually a
Absolutely.
storyteller.
Sure.
Yeah.
No,
Chappelle's one of the greatest
there's
storytellers
plenty of
ever.
storytellers.
Yeah.
But I'm saying you can kind of steal a joke and repurpose it, and
Yeah.
like nobody can steal a story about Alden Capital. And Jared Kushner,
you
all that
connect
shit.
it
So
all.
like,
Yeah.
that shit is just you. Like
And I wanted
one of a
it
kind.
to have like a. You know how when you watch stuff, you're like, did that really happen?
Yeah.
Right.
There's kind of like, we're part of that era of like receipts.
Right.
Like, yo, show me
and
the
you
receipt.
have everything on yours, dude.
Receipt.
Zooming in on his face,
even
circling
one,
it.
like, I don't
Brother
want
Eric,
to-
the Fed. Yeah, it was like receipt. Like, this dude was just,
But there's the one clip where it's going back and forth with you on stage to the
Yeah,
the
yeah.
show
Mouthing
itself,
it.
and you're
Yeah.
mouthing it. And I was like, oh wait,
How long did it
it
take to
almost
get that
confused
right?
me for a second.
You know
I
what
was
the
like, wait, what's
feeling?
happening
You know the
right
feeling I'm chasing is like, say we didn't have all these lights, we weren't recording this, right? say we were just hanging out and you're like, yo, I went to high school, but I'm like, no, you didn't. And you pull out your phone. You're like, no, I'm telling you. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Or like, did you see that thing?
That feeling is awesome.
I'm chasing that feeling. I'm like, how do I give the audience that feeling? Of like, did that for real happen?
Yeah.
No way. No fucking way.
Because it's like right on the border of like so fantastical. But it's like, no, man. Like here.
Those are the stories of a famous person.
Well, I was gonna say, the way you did that is like literally my dream to do like a one-man show like that. I just I don't have the talent or the material. So
I bet you got crazy stories.
I mean, everybody's got some stories, right? But you've got.
It's really the way you sequence it and then you tag it up and you like. Yeah. Like
you also really towed the line perfectly of like. Because I've seen other specials that bounce back and forth between the like funny and serious,
right?
And sometimes the serious takes itself a little too serious,
right.
And it's like, wait a minute, I was just laughing a second ago. Now I gotta like cry, and it's almost too crazy. And like every time where I thought you were about to go too far, where I was like, this is gonna get too serious, you hit like a joke,
man,
or your tone
hopefully,
changed.
Yeah. I know, I know it's not for everybody. Like some people are like, bro, I'm not trying to get in my feelings right now. Like this is kind of like Drake comedy hour. I'm not trying to cry.
Marvin's room over here. I'm not doing
like
that.
Cry and call my ex right now. Like, but you know what's interesting, man? Like I was actually talking to Sam Marilla about this. Just like in basketball's my favorite sport, but just like in basketball, there's different guys that have like different superpowers where you're like, oh, this guy, his handle is crazy, or this guy's he's a power. Zion Williamson is a power player. Kyrie's this crazy ball handler, cross you up, body control guy. So and so's pure shooter. Steph's like pure shooter, run off the pick guy. I feel like stand-ups like that too. When you really nerd out, there's like some of the best kind of setup punch joke writers are like Sam Morril, Mark Norman. These guys are
Joe
off
List,
the charts. Joe List, Beast,
Yeah.
Anthony Jeselnik, like setup punch. They're just like rapid fire. Then there's guys that are like kind of like philosophy take guys. Like Chris Rock was just at Radio City. Like you gotta go sit down and be like, all right, what's his take on this guy? What's his take on this
or
guy?
George Carlin back in the day.
Then there's guys who like, to me, they're like they have all the Infinity Stones, which is Dave. Dave will be like, I could do setup punch, setup punch. He'll cross over, and then he's like, all right, bro, now let me like.
He's like,
I'll wax poetic. Like I'll do a whole.
Who's that new kid? Wembayana? You see that? He's like the next high school prospect.
Okay.
He's got an 8-foot wingspan.
Oh wow.
And he can shoot.
Yeah.
And he's skinny as like a rail. I think he's like 7 feet tall, like 165 pounds, whatever.
Yeah.
But they're saying he's gonna, like, if he puts on some weight like Giannis, he would like literally be the best player of all time.
He'll be like Giannis meets Steph.
Yeah. It's honestly weird.
That was, all these guys. I actually did see like he like pulls up from like half court already.
It's very strange. Like it's like people said he looks like the guy. The alien from Signs,
Okay.
You know, like when the guy walks in the alley and his arms are like, but he can ball.
Yeah.
I'll
By
pull
the way,
a picture.
I fuck with Signs.
As
a movie. I was like, people kind of.
I can't say I fuck with it too hard. I saw it the 1 or 2 times like when I was younger.
Okay.
Have you?
I enjoyed it then.
Yeah.
Have you watched it recently?
Like a couple years ago, I was like, oh, this movie's kind of good. You know, you ever been at a hotel and you're like, I'll spend 9 hours.
Yes.
It's on TNT.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch
all the commercials and everything.
Yeah, Shawshank Redemption's on. It's 3:00. It'll be 11. It'll be over. But yeah, let me lock in.
I did a fucking hungover Saturday in college where I watched like Titanic on TNT, and that
Braveheart was the one for me.
I woke up. It was like, it ended on Sunday. It was like we started at 1. It's like over on Sunday.
Yeah.
Have you heard the theory that it's not aliens?
Wait, what?
It's one of the wilder
environmental, right?
It's I think it's more religious. I just found this out. The theory is like literally I'm pulling up a Reddit thread 9 years ago.
Wait, but didn't Trump release the documents? It is UFOs, right? For real. Isn't that crazy that like the government was like, all right, there are aliens.
What is really crazy, and
we were like, that's fine.
Yes.
And we just kept arguing with each other on Twitter. We're like, who gives a fuck?
I think
we got stuff going on. Right
yeah.
I'm obsessed with aliens and UFOs and shit, and I think.
What is it about it that you're like?
Well, this is what I think happened.
Yeah.
I think what I learned is I'm not obsessed with that. I'm obsessed with the mystery of it. Yeah. Because once they were like, yup, people, they released all the documents. They're redacted and shit, but you can go, there's a website where it's like, you can just read them all. And I consider myself like pretty into that shit. I didn't even consider reading it. Because it was just like, yup.
You
and then you're like, wait a minute.
You're like, it's just in a PDF.
The one that freaks me out, it's that guy. He just tweeted it out.
Yeah,
we've been searching for aliens, and you just put it on a PDF.
Yeah, bro.
The thing where the Navy is saying like those like Tic Tac zooming things. They're like, we don't know what those are. But to me, that's like, that could be, Russian aircraft or whatever. Like, there are things that you could still explain it. There was one where they said, this is made from materials not of this earth.
Oh, wow.
They were like, we don't have this, like, compound on this planet.
And what's your theory? Are your theory
that
they're coming to visit us or no? They're just like,
I don't know what I believe,
like,
man.
Earth is the Atlanta airport where they're like,
just a little hop and go. Yeah, it's fucking hub to send you to the next galaxy. I don't know what I believe anymore, but I'm like, what do you guys? They said it like it was like a footnote on the New York Times. Like, there's aliens.
I remember in like 2019, I think, something like that. Hillary was like, if I win, like she was putting out all the stops. She's like, if I win, like we're gonna put out the UFO thing.
Hilarious.
And I was like, the election's over. Like we all want to see this. There's no way like we're gonna vote for anyone else.
Yeah.
And we were like, we're not interested in that.
Wow.
Which is shocking. I couldn't believe it. But
I'm trying to find this. I think
because there was a reason water killed them. That's why like it was.
Oh, for real? They talk about that?
No.
This was just
the flying objects, right? But there's no government documentation of like fucking aliens with the big ass.
No. This is just the aircraft or whatever.
Yeah. What's your weird obsession,
bro? When you said that, I was like, man, I just wish I had something I was passionate about. Like it was. I actually got introspective. I was like, I don't have an answer for this.
Like the way Jay Leno's into cars, where he's like, this all was just a farce for me spending time with cars.
Yeah. And I got nothing.
Your obsession is
I like drinking a lot.
Booze and candy.
Yeah. I'm drinking and Sour Patch Kids.
Who's the greatest drinker you've ever been around?
That's a great question.
Who's unfuckwittable?
I mean, we've done
Dude, he's up there. Like you read yourself. Like I would never go toe to toe, drink for drink with him ever. I could never even consider it.
How old are you? How does your body handle it now?
It is.
It's happening. He's finally getting hangovers.
This weekend, my buddy and I did like an impromptu, like, bro, fuck it, let's go to Liverpool, Man City. And so we flew out Friday night, just drank all day Saturday, drank fairly heavily Sunday.
Yeah.
Got on a plane Monday, came back here and did the podcast. And I was like, I was starting to feel it there, but it is like I would put myself up there. I would think I swear I think I drank for 30 hours straight between Friday and Saturday.
Bro, it's nuts.
I think, fuck, man.
I will put Gillis on there.
Oh, Gillis is in it.
Shane is.
Bro, he when it comes, he was talking recently about somebody was like trying to go drink for drink with him.
Yeah.
And he was saying, he was like, this person surprised me. Like they could hang, but I think they were drinking like whiskey. And then he was like, and then I just switched over to Bud Light and I just fucking crushed him. And I was almost thinking about like it was like a race where he hit like the CO, the NOS or whatever. It was like you're neck and neck, and then he just goes a math test drunk.
Yeah,
no,
because I've seen comics be like so high functioning, and I'm like, I wonder if like you take another skill set, and you're like, yo, do it this way. Yeah.
I did the SAT2s drunk.
Fuck, really?
And that was
you did reading comprehension lit?
It was. I did a Spanish SAT2s drunk. Because what has happened, my buddy and I in high school, we went to like a boarding school, and it was like we get to study abroad.
Yeah.
Between our junior and senior year.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we studied in Spain between our junior and senior year.
Yeah.
And we were like, we're stupid 17-year-olds. And we're like, dude, we fucking speak Spanish better drunk. Like, I actually think there is some truth to that, because I think there's like
no inhibition.
The fear that you're like not doing it right is removed.
Yeah.
So then like the next year when we were taking the SAT2s, we're like, dude, should we sneak in? Like we had the Gatorade, little Gatorade All-Star bottles.
Yeah,
you remember those?
Yeah.
And we had like 4 each in our pockets. That were like mixed drinks. And then we were just crushing them in the back doing the SAT2s.
But did you vomit?
Like just kind of cheersing each other every once in a while, being like, dude, I'm fucking hammering this. I wish I could.
And how'd you do? Did you do good?
I honestly have no idea. I don't.
I'd venture to guess.
I would venture to guess no.
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of colleges accept me. I'll say that.
What are the soccer games out in Europe like?
Dude, I mean, we talked about it ad nauseum yesterday.
Do they blow us out of the water in terms of our fandom? Or do they make us look?
It's absolute chaos, Hudson. It is
they have songs that they made up and they all sing all the time, and it's call and response, and they're always on their feet. It's like I said, I would give anything to be able to like, because as a fan, every fan wants it to be like that. Yeah. So if we just all agree to do that at Madison Square Garden, like let's just do that, and we just don't, because I don't know why.
I actually got an answer. Someone from England tweeted me, and this was like the biggest match like of the year. This was huge. This is like the 1 versus 2 at like this magical stadium. It was Liverpool, Man City at Anfield. Like it's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And it was not quiet for a single second. There was not a second where there wasn't someone singing and all that. And so we were talking on the podcast yesterday about like why that happens. And what someone answered, what they do, and I knew they did this, but I didn't really process why it works, is the away fans only get 2 sections. So the away fans are right here, and the rest of the fans, and that kind of inspires
sprinkling
the tribalism, really.
Yeah,
where it's
right? Fuck you.
It's like it is all of us are together, all of you. Yeah. Like they would like doing chants back and forth. Yeah. It was fucking.
Oh, like one side of the arena is like.
It would be like the away fans, Man City fans would be like, "Where's your famous atmosphere?" And then the whole crowd would be like, "Here's your famous atmosphere." And it was like it's almost like a musical at parts, like a dance. Like it was nuts. It was so much fun.
And ours are just like drunk people fighting.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
but I'll be at a game and I'll be like, we'll even guess like how long is the wave gonna go?
Yeah. Who's gonna stop?
You know what I mean? You just like sometimes it doesn't even make it around the entire arena.
Yep.
You know what they also do, which is smart, is they force you to your seats after halftime. They're like, everyone get to your seats.
Oh,
like,
so there's no dilly-dallying.
And how about
whatever?
this? There's no really drinking. They don't serve beer.
Stop. Are you serious?
You can't be within vision of the pitch.
You can't see the pitch and drink. It's because of a law from 1985 to prevent hooliganism.
Because if you think about it, like when you're most drunk, you're rowdy, but you're not like focused on the game. And you know, if I'm like dead sober and I'm focused on like the moment and the play and the tension, like that's probably when you're at your best.
What do you like watching live here, stateside here in New York?
I'm a baseball fucking. I'm cursed with being a baseball fan.
Really?
It's just
I've never been to the Yankees or the Mets out
don't
here.
Go.
Really?
I don't think baseball translates. I think out of all the sports, I think going to a baseball stadium, even I don't even want to call it going to the game. Yeah. Going to the stadium is kind of like a little bit of an experience. You see like the field, and it's like, you know, it's Americano almost. Like you get a beer and a dog at the game. Yeah. But like watching it live, unless it's like a playoff, you know, an important game. You go to like a fucking Mets Reds game in the middle of August. Like I love it.
Garbage.
It's just
worth.
You know, it's right. Like it's 4 hours long.
But also, what fucking sucks is we talked about this. Is that like I've been to a couple of Yankee games. I've never been to a Mets game.
Yeah.
And it takes 6 hours to get into the game.
Yeah.
Like
it's crazy.
At Yankee Stadium they have Clear now. That's how fucking long it takes to get in the game. You can use Clear to get into Yankee Stadium.
You get 55,000 people through the.
Bring your laptop in.
He was saying that over there that they didn't have. Metal detectors because nobody has guns.
So you walk right into the game.
We were like, listen, you know, there's a lot of. I hate the mass shootings, but let's get rid of the guns so we can get to the fucking get to our seat for first pitch or whatever.
That's really crazy. The closest that I get growing up in Sacramento, the closest feeling I get to that feeling of that arena, that disappointment, that anger, is Knicks games.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
like when you go to Knicks games now,
when I go to Madison Square Garden now,
yes,
like. The feeling I get, the way the crowd is angry at the players and the organization, I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm back inside. Yeah. It's this hopelessness, but it's like, but we're still family.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
we're in this together.
Well,
that's what's unique about the Knicks in New York is everybody is a Knicks fan. There's no Mets, Mets, Yankees, Giants, Jets. Everyone's always fragmented.
There's this Brooklyn Nets nonsense. Whatever.
I couldn't believe it because I remember thinking like, this is gonna be interesting. Like the Nets might make some noise, and they tried with Garnett and Paul Pierce and all them, and it didn't work then. But I was like, those guys were aging. It was a bad move. And then they assembled like this real big three, and they still were like a footnote.
Yeah, man.
And maybe if they win the championship, obviously they'll get some more love. But like the Knicks making they were the 4 seed that year was like.
Remember that game they won against Atlanta?
Yeah, like the one game they played was like fucking
and like Puerto Rican Spider-Man was going crazy. Remember that dude? There's like the Spider-Man with like the Yankee finish.
Yeah,
crazy in the
bang bong, blew up the whole nine.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And I think we kind of, and then when you lose, you kind of become a little bit of like a punchline. But I was like, man, this is the blueprint. Like, it's a little silly when you're celebrating the streets from a first round game 2
The Nets are the
win,
Hudson Yards of basketball teams.
Say again?
The Nets are the Hudson Yards of basketball.
Yes, I like that. Yes.
Whereas it's like, why is there an H&M inside of the arena? Like, that's the vibe at Nets.
So corporate.
And I'll get invited. I'm like, nah, I'd rather go to. And it's crazy. They're a better team.
Right, but the fan experience.
Yeah, if I'm going to go see it live.
Absolutely unparalleled. And that's if the Knicks ever do win. You know, if you're going bananas for winning a game against the Hawks in round 1. God, imagine like a game
it'd be
7
so amazing
in the finals,
being in the city if the Knicks are good.
I'm from Boston, so I'm like I don't really care that much about New York sports. But I remember I was walking home from like a friend's apartment, and I didn't even know the Knicks were playing that night.
Yeah,
and like I thought I didn't know that there was a parade And I was like, what? Because I live on like the west side. And I was like walking down past MSG. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, why is there chaos like in the middle of the street right now?
And it was just like a regular season game, right? Or was
no, it was the game 2 game.
No, it was the game 2 where they
and
beat
it was
Bucks,
like I probably should have been smart enough to put it together. There's a bunch of Knicks jerseys here. It might have something to do with that team. But I was just like, why is everyone in the street? What is going on?
Even regular season, you'll see it. Like we're right around the corner here, and it's like the play. That's also it's right in the city. You know, you got to go to the outer boroughs or Jersey for all the other sports. It's like take the subway, you're at the game.
Yeah.
But it is, man, there's nothing like it.
By the way, shout out to Deezus and Mero. They kind of banned them from sitting courtside.
Did they?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, MSG or Brooklyn?
And MSG. So I want to say free Deezus and Mero.
That's funny.
Yeah, bro. Get them back.
Shit about going and whatnot.
Yeah. So there's like, get them back.
I mean, how bad was those Bibby years when, I mean, you got
Well, I feel vindicated now.
Because of
Donaghy.
Yeah. I mean, that you got fucked, and everybody knew
fucked.
it in the moment.
Yeah,
and then you got like the hardcore proof.
Well, the problem is that everybody rubs it in our face because we couldn't hit free throws at the end of the game.
Yeah, I was gonna say you also
and Peja,
like,
and Peja fucking choked and couldn't hit that 3. But that back pick and Kobe. Bibby, hooks Bibby and they call the foul on Bibby. Yeah, that's cooked.
Yeah, right. And
like that's straight up.
But how
that's an atrocity.
Like,
we would have won the championship. By the way,
oh yeah, you guys were.
That was the Nets.
I mean, that was what that was Weber, Weber, Bibby, Peja,
Vlade.
Yeah,
wait, that was the Nets in the finals.
Yeah, bro.
Richard Jefferson and fucking
garbage, Kerry Kittles and all them. Yeah, garbage.
That was
ours
fun
to win.
Team.
Yeah, bro. We were a great team.
I think,
and everybody like no matter where I go in the country when they're like blah blah blah, they're like, I remember your era. Like I remember the Kings. We had that 98.
Oh, Jay Will was on the team, right?
White chocolate. So 98 to like 02, like say 03. That was like
it. Yeah.
Bro.
But I mean, how much does that suck when? What 98 to 03 is? It's fucking Kobe and Shaq on a runaway train, you know,
on a tear.
But you had them.
But we were as good as that Lakers team in that.
It was also just a fun like brand of ball. It was like White chocolate and Bibby had the handles and Peja could shoot and Chris Webber was like the guy.
Depth, like we had a crazy depth with Doug Christie, Bobby Jackson, all those guys coming off the bench. Yeah, all those guys getting off the bench. So that like depth chart that you see now with the Warriors being super deep and you got multiple squads like we got the starting 5 but we got
you have a whole
three.
You have like an A team and B team.
Yeah, you got
like it's fucking 4th grade again. That shouldn't happen.
Yeah, but that's the league now. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You're just straight basketball? Are you any
straight basketball? But everyone's like you got to go to Rangers games now.
So I was gonna say the same way I say don't go to a baseball game. Everyone, it's cliche, but you go see a hockey game. Preferably if you can go see a playoff game live, but any hockey live is bananas.
I was gonna say when like the soccer game was like people were like when you see it live you get it, and as like growing up a hockey fan, you go to a hockey game live, you get it. Yeah. You're like, all right, everyone's fucking crazy. There's also just like such great sounds. The hockey, it's kind of like baseball with like the skates in the ice, the ping of the post, like things crashing off boards. Like, all right, there's. And like hockey is.
Do you feel like it translates to TV well? I feel like the game doesn't translate well at all.
Like unless you really are a hockey fan, it's impossible to follow. Without
you don't know what's going on.
But when you're there, it's also I think kind of like the last because it's such a like the 4th tier of sports that like the blue collar can still afford to go to.
Yeah.
So like they're like I'm gonna get fucked up. I'm gonna get loud.
And it's a big deal for them.
Yeah. Like, I had a bad day at work. I'm gonna take that out on a fucking 20-year-old.
Weren't the Rangers good and nobody was talking about it? Like they made the playoffs, right?
The Rangers, are always.
Last year was but it got talked about.
Yeah, no, they get really they get cooking. It's pretty. I mean, it's still
as much as when the Knicks were making that run against Atlanta. Or remember the Melo years where they went far against Indiana?
Like
that was a real
versus the Rangers being good. Like the Knicks are still the story.
Dude, the bar is low for
hockey. Is so low. I still think
they have us on NY1 tonight, bro.
Hockey's on C. Hockey's the C-SPAN of sports. Hey, there's a particular demo. There's a particular demo.
C-SPAN.
Yeah,
there was always that
government and legislation
from like channel 12 to like 20 when I was a kid. It was just like a million C-SPANs.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is this
shit?
Dude,
one of my first girlfriends, I like went to visit her at college. She was like staying at her friend's college. Like we were still in high school. And like we were like sleeping in like a bunk bed together. And I woke up and I was like, is C-SPAN on?
Purposely watching it?
And she was like, yeah, I watch C-SPAN when I can't fall asleep. And I was like, you're so goddamn weird. Like, I think I love you.
That's actually kind of beautiful.
Yeah. I get it.
How were you always politically, savvy or like well read or whatever you call yourself.
I was into history. Out of everything, I was into history, and
Yeah.
I was a speech and debate kid. Like I loved speech and. It's so fucking nerdy. This is so nerdy. I did forensics. I did impromptu speech and debate. It was great.
Yeah, I kind of like that though. Like there is, to me, that's almost like a sport in its own right, where it's like the debating is like.
Anybody listening that knows argument. That's a forensics head, they know what it is.
Yeah.
It's like Pitch Perfect, but with like
hell
arguing.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, bro, it's serious.
Dude, we have a lot of forensics heads on this show.
Yeah. People take it really seriously.
Debate club is kind of like a trope almost of like nerds, but it's like a rap battle. It's like a fucking presidential debate. It's like everybody loves to argue. It's proving your girlfriend wrong. It's
I was like,
wrong. It's great.
I did impromptu, so it was like, it was perfect for me, like a kid with ADD that doesn't want to prepare too much, but just enough.
So they just give you a topic?
Yeah, so it'll be like, me and you were debating, and they'll be like, okay, we're in Cincinnati today for nationals, and you will be given the topic of fiscal spending for the town and blah blah blah. So you'll be given like, we should spend more money on the library. I'll be given, we should spend less money on the library.
And even if you're categorically against it, you gotta argue it. See, I love that.
And I actually kind of love, because it's great for comedy if you want like the contrarian perspective.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yo, I kind of get this. Yeah, where you kind of flip it on its head.
We did a segment. His last name's Feidelberg, and we used to have Big Cat on our show, so we called it Cat Fights. And I would give 60 seconds, and I would give them 2 topics. Yeah. So like, and whatever, I would fucking do it on purpose. I'd be like, why is basketball better than hockey, and make him argue it. And he was like, and it was like, to his core, he doesn't believe in any of it.
I'm so bad at that.
Like, really?
I was gonna. It's funny you remember that. Like I was like, if I would never do good in debate club, if I did it, I'm just saying, is because like I'd be like, I don't believe that.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna argue.
Oh yeah.
My favorite one, I remember. He's like I don't even know what your musical tastes are, and Dan is like a classic rock guy, and I was like, Tupac and Biggie, like, you're Biggie, you're Tupac, go. And they both were like, I got nothing, man.
Are you serious?
They couldn't for 30 seconds.
Were they just like,
case for either of them?
There are redeemable qualities about both.
Yeah. I think we just like didn't even do the fucking segment.
I don't remember that one, but yeah,
you were just like, I don't know, man.
So my favorite thing to do was like, you're just in a high school gymnasium, and I would just totally break the fourth wall. I'd be like, what are we doing? Like, I'd be
that's the comedy company.
Yeah,
right?
I'm like, we're 15 years old. You want us to talk about like fiscal spending for the city? Like, we both live at home with our parents. Like, this is ridiculous. I'd be like, is that your dad? Like,
I have an allowance, dude.
Yeah, like, this is a conflict of interest. Yeah. Like, this. By the way, if I lose, it's because y'all are cheating. Like, so it's just like I would kind of do crowd. I would whip it into a frenzy. And I remember my teacher, Miss Takeuchi. She was like, she'd show me the report, like the little like score sheet, and she's like, "Hey, they would always give you like 10 or 15 points more, just for being funny."
Yeah.
I didn't know it was. I didn't know it was a talent. I didn't know it
was a
was a thing. That, like, would be.
You're just like, I'm just kind of like shooting the shit.
I'm just talking shit. Yeah.
And so when did you realize that? I mean, in the special you talk about
right
the
around
first
college,
joke that you landed with the terrorism thing. But
right around college
is when you knew like I'm going to be a comedian.
I could just see like there was open mics and shit like that at school, and I was like, oh, this is like
good
a thing.
At this.
And I went to college.
Where'd you go?
UC Davis. So I went to college during like the Napster, Kazaa, LimeWire era.
Yeah.
So people were downloading like everything. So I just remember, I just felt like I was plugging into the Matrix. Where I was like
give it all to me.
Yeah, give me every episode of South Park. Give me every episode of all this stuff.
Did you ever watch Clone High?
Nah.
Fuck. I swear to God, I'm the only person on the planet who watched Clone High.
Like a Disney Channel show or something?
It's brilliant. No, it was on MTV. Okay. It got canceled because it's wildly inappropriate.
Yeah.
The idea was that some like mad scientist cloned everyone in history.
Yeah.
And they are now all of like teenage age, and they're going to high school. So like JFK, Cleopatra, like JFK is the villain. Okay. Abe Lincoln and Gandhi are boys, but they're like these hormonal, like horny teenagers, and it's very well written and very like Gandhi is like this ADD horny party animal, and Abe is trying to win over Cleopatra. But and it's
a cartoon.
Yes, it's a cartoon,
That's
and
so
it
funny.
is. It got one season on MTV, and I think there was a scene. I think Gandhi was like jerking off on something, and they were like, "This shit is done." And it was like 2003, and they still were like, "This is too offensive." So, but that it was like a great history and smart but clever, but comedy. It's kind of like when you can do that. I mean, I think comics are all inherently kind of smart people. You got to be clever and witty and wordplay and punchlines and shit like that.
For sure.
And then if you can combine that with like actual you're well read or you have some aptitude and you know things. It's like that's when you can really do.
Yeah, and some of those guys, by the way, like. There's this comedian, I don't know if you ever saw him, Greg Giraldo. That dude is a fucking monster.
Yeah.
But he was an attorney. So a lot of comics actually were like attorneys before. So like
interesting.
Greg Giraldo was an attorney, Demetri Martin was an attorney.
Right.
Demetri Martin was?
Yeah, bro. He worked at the White House too. People don't know that. He worked at the White House. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. He's super smart, crazy smart.
If you like
it's puzzles, man. It's like it's verbal, like word puzzles.
Right.
Basically.
It's like this one's serious and this one's not, but
set
it's
it
the
up
same
this way,
idea.
Turn it
same
this
thing with
way.
like rap music and punchline. T.I. was trying to do comedy recently, and it's like if you think about it,
how's that going? I know he's doing comedy. It's not going well.
It went poorly. I think. It went. In the beginning, it was like he wasn't great, but it was like I don't know. This is like rap punchlines.
Yeah.
And he was very humble about it. He was like, I can't just be rapping about like hoes and jewelry till I'm 50. So but then there was a night that a female comic got on stage and I think took like a fair shot at him, nothing bad. Yeah. And he like bum rushed the stage and took a mic from her.
This.
Yeah,
I was like,
it was like you're done. You can't do that in comedy. You can't be like I'm taking the mic away from him because you made a joke. You know what I mean? But the notion stands. And I think all those guys, if they wanted to be comics, they could just kind of like pivot over to here because it is all the same thing. You just got to hone it in a certain way.
What's the story behind that?
Hell yeah, greatness.
Yeah.
So
our future president, bro.
So we had Rocky Dale Davis, the other guy tagged on that. Is friend. He's a comic and he's boys with The Rock, and
like for real boys.
Well, not I shouldn't say boys, but like internet boys.
Yeah, they're cool.
Rocky, he had like a joke in his special about The Rock that like
The Rock just saw some joke. I don't think it was about The Rock, and then we followed him on Instagram, and then ended up like sharing a bunch of his.
They interact a lot on the internet, and so I very much like was pandering, like, hey Dwayne, like you loved Rocky Dale Davis, but what about the guys who were interviewing him? They're great too. Hell yeah, great.
Like, hell yeah. You know, you were talking about receipts earlier. That's a fake receipt.
No, that's real though, right?
I mean, it is real. But it's like the phony is shit.
There's like 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta get a better story on that one. Like, that was the time I beat him arm wrestling. He's
probably one of my all-time favorites.
Or wrestlers. Are you a wrestling fan?
Did you get to talk to him about that?
Bro, this is like from my grandfather.
Interesting.
Wrestling's big, bro.
Yeah. Is that like your whole family?
Well,
like just you and your grandfather.
Well, actually, funny enough, for Iranians and Greeks, wrestling is huge, like proper wrestling.
Right.
But then also
Greco-Roman type shit. Yeah.
But like then also professional wrestling. My grandfather was really into it when I was a kid, and then I got really into it. But I was from the WCW, NWO, that era. Yeah.
To me,
wait, so like
that's
Rey Mysterio Jr. Those guys were
WCW instead of WWF Attitude. That's crazy.
Yes,
that is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, that actually kind of is kind of.
That is, I mean, they ended up like poaching all the guys that were. But I remember like Monday Night Nitro over Monday Night Raw. You're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
The NWO kind of was cool, but like
NWO was kind of fucking badass.
Yeah. They were.
Yeah, Nitro was kind of whack when Raw was where.
Raw was like fucking tits and violence and cursing.
It was
and
crazy.
Like, for a adolescent boy, it was like holy
bro.
Shit. Yeah, but all
that era. So I started getting into it. Remember right when Yokozuna died or whatever? Like that was right when I was a kid and I was getting into it. And I'm like, oh, this is fucking. There's snakes here.
Yeah. Mine was when Val Venus got his dick cut off.
I
was like, what the fuck?
Choppy, your pee-pee.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
I hate
so that Undertaker, Yokozuna, like that era was like.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, it's got me in.
Yeah,
and then
I've fallen off, but AEW wrestling. Have you kept apprised of anything that's going on now?
No.
It's kind of like AEW is like another federation. WWE kind of became the kids family version. And
so
they're not like
what's AEW like backyard, like the backyard.
It's not quite like that. It's still like you're on TV and it's wrestling, but there's a wrestler now, MJF, Maxwell J. Friedman. And he plays this like got a Burberry scarf on. He's like, I'm better than you, and but he's like 24, 25, and he has got the juice, man. He is like he's like the next The Rock in my mind. So he kind of drew me back in. But to me, that was like I think the Attitude Era was like the most entertained I've ever been. Sports, comedy, movies, whatever. Like every Monday and Thursday, I was like, what's gonna happen next?
Was Dwayne in that era? Or
yeah,
no?
oh yeah. It's like Stone Cold and The Rock,
yeah,
Triple H, Undertaker, DX, Suck It, all that.
Yeah,
but yeah, the Rock was like prominent. He was a heel.
Mankind as well.
Mankind was great. Hell in a Cell. We was throwing him off the fuck.
Bro, it was great.
The DX Suck It. The fact that like I think I was in middle school at the time, maybe a little younger.
Yeah, everyone,
like, every kid
was just like
suck my dick.
Like just like going to like,
so
like
aggressive.
I went to like SmackDown once at.
I can't believe our middle school teachers let us do it.
That's what I mean.
Like we play two-hand touch, we score a touchdown, and we do that, and I'm like,
I mean, it's pretty. Even if you don't know, I'm like,
and like Mr. DeMarco's like, I'll allow it.
If you throw up a middle finger, I'm gonna be pretty pissed.
Yeah, but you can suck my dick.
Suck my dick.
Bro, we're asking someone to fillet me right now. You're cool with this, Mr. DeMarco? This is fucking insanity. I remember, bro, I was like such a fan. I like went to Borders bookstore and bought Have a Nice Day, like
the book and everything.
Book.
Yes.
I made Mankind a New York Times bestseller.
I wouldn't have thought that your family was into it. Yeah. That is funny. That's great.
It was just, he had the puppet. And
is that just, it's not like a cultural thing? Like, is it big?
I think it's just like that idea, bro. If you think about it, wrestling kind of is Bollywood in that nature.
Yeah,
like,
well, that's why I wonder
hero,
if it translated.
Heel, spectacle.
It's very enhanced.
Yeah, man. But if you also understand, like, if you understand wrestling, you understand politics.
Right. Yeah, I can see.
Dude, no. It's like
I think if you understand wrestling, you actually understand like life. It's like
pretty
black,
much,
white, good, evil, bad. Like and Vince is pulling the strings, and I mean, to me, it's like.
And it's also
that's
like
why it works.
In any given situation, who's the hero, who's the heel?
Yeah.
And if you can't be the hero, you're like, I'm the heel.
Lines are blurred.
And if you actually go full heel, you're like, now people
become the hero. Yeah. Awesome, man. For better or worse. I think there's some people employing that, that shouldn't, but yeah.
So so it's like, I don't know. It's really, if I ever got asked to do it, like I'm kind of
hell yeah.
I'm kind of jealous that like Che and Joe got asked to do it, but I'm like, I'll fucking do it in a heartbeat.
Definitely,
I saw Action Bronson. He just did it recently. I was like, fuck yeah, I'll do it.
Dude, if you can get in there. I remember it can backfire though. David Arquette, he won the WCW belt at like their big pay-per-view, and the fans were like, fuck
that. No.
You got to be like
you got to come in, you slide under, you do the chair.
Yes, or like a low blow or something, and then you're out.
Just chair it, and then
which is, by the way, like people, it's like wrestling's fake, and you feel those chairs, like they're fucking chairs.
Oh, have you felt them?
Are
those chairs? Like,
have you ever felt a chair?
I've felt
because they're just chairs.
They're chairs.
They are not like. They're just chairs.
But the ring has a little bit of bounce in it. You know how when these go,
bro? Yes, that's also
like it's got a little bit.
I think MJF was telling me like it's not. It's like, okay, if I had a wooden board on springs, would you be willing to just throw your back on it? Like it's not like soft.
Yeah,
it's like okay, it's not concrete, but it's not soft.
So it's not like. It's not like your parents' master bedroom bed.
No. Yeah,
like when you're wrestling as a kid, where you're like, "Yo, I'm gonna pile driver you."
No. It's real.
It was. I've sat because like our company does like some work with WWE.
Yeah.
So I sat on the floor at SummerSlam like last year, I think, and then I've sat.
All right. So what's that environment like?
That's
insane.
That's actually. I would put that up there with the soccer. That was fucking nuts. But I've also sat on the floor at a Triple G fight, and at both you can feel the vibrations like that from the ring through your seat.
Yeah,
and it was pretty similar. Like I mean, we were like in the second row at SummerSlam, and I was like, he's just kicking him in the head.
Yeah,
like,
it's
not like there aren't mics. It's not like on TV. Like I can just hear him getting fucking kicked in the head. And then I think they said the punches when you throw, like you're throwing a real punch and you're hitting them in the head.
Yeah,
but you're supposed to be able to hold a roll of nickels in your hand. So that's all. So it's not a full knuckle.
But again,
it's like
if I just kind of half punched you right now, you'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, for sure.
No, wrestling's the best, man.
I feel like they're too nice now, though. Because I did the Tonight Show and Roman Reigns was on, and he's like, "Hey, how are you?" And I'm like, "No,
I want you got to stay.
Bro, if I'm at Disneyland and I meet Mickey,
I want you Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, be fucking Mickey.
You don't break kayfabe.
Yeah.
I hear
that,
man.
Hi, Mickey.
We got to get back to that. Suck it,
Mr. Mouse.
Hello,
here.
man.
How you doing,
Mr. Mouse? How are you?
I'm like, come on, bro.
Man, I think we could go on for hours, but I think we got to wrap up, right?
Yeah.
I did get a kick out of. I just got to say when you when you're talking to your crowd in the beginning of the special, and you were like, shout out to all the doctors and the DOs.
Oh,
bro, how did you know that was gonna happen,
bro?
It's all Indian people, right? You know,
man. Yo, man, if you bring out niche physician jokes, they kill. Yeah, you're bringing. You will raise the wrath of God, because it's a secret they hide deep inside of them. Like, yo, nobody can know this.
Right. Like, you gotta go loud.
That was
boots.
that actually was the
bro.
best when you were too serious. When you went from serious to funny, when you said like when you said when don't want becomes can't have, right, Dios? And it was like come on,
yeah. But and what's crazy is like it's almost like physician warfare, because like some of the shows on tour, when I would shout out the DOs, are like, boo, fuck you, like we're paying for tickets. I was like, you want me to make fun of nurses or nurse practitioners, or God forbid chiropractors? And so then it was like class warfare.
I'll throw in a dentist, a veterinarian. Yeah. You can all catch it.
Yeah. And then they were like, yeah, fuck that. They shit on us. Like the nurses were like, fuck that. We do all your work anyways. And I'm like, yeah, y'all fight it out. Like up in the balcony, jump down. Like, yeah, because they didn't know. There's a little bit of like, you're just shit. I was like, no, I know how deep this goes.
Right, and it's like a shameful thing. Yeah. But you also when you continued on, you shouted out everybody from Deloitte.
Oh, fuck.
And I got such a kick out of that, because when I was an accountant, I worked at Deloitte, and we opened up an office in Hyderabad.
Yeah.
And they used to we would finish up our work for 6 o'clock or whatever, and we would send it over to them, and they would work on it overnight.
Yeah.
And so I had this team of like heroic Indian guys and girls who would do my work for me.
Basically,
and I would come in, and sometimes they would completely fuck it up, and I would be like, come on, man.
Yeah.
But I would come in, and everything would be done for me, and it was like this magical, like, you go to sleep at night, and then your work is done.
Your 8 a.m. is their 8 p.m.
Yes.
And then you do this like call.
Yes.
Yeah,
and it was the best thing that ever happened. And then they were like, we also need people to start doing like 6 months over there. Like, do you want to go? And I was like, bro, I don't even go to like Brooklyn. I'm not going to I'm not going there. But
did you get your CPA?
No, that was where I began.
Because at the beginning of this, when you're like, I was an accountant, I was like, wait a second.
Yeah,
that CPA test is hard.
I did not do that.
I'm not saying that you wouldn't pass it.
No, I just wouldn't have passed it.
I didn't mean.
I was very bad at it. I was like, I gotta go. I gotta fucking go.
Bro,
yeah,
that's like.
Yeah. I needed a whole new. I needed a whole new career. So.
You worked at Deloitte?
Yeah.
Bro, why didn't we start the podcast this way?
We're
ending this.
I know.
What the fuck?
We'll do it for next time.
All right, for next. Yeah.
All right.
Cool,
so everybody go see the King's Jester.
Thanks for having me.
It's fucking awesome.
Thank you so
thanks,
much,
man. Yeah.
Make sure you subscribe to KFC Radio on YouTube to get all the video content. Subscribe, comment, like, and make sure you turn on the bell notifications so you know whenever new video content drops.
I want to say something, but the video has to be fast, so that's it.